looks like Shedeur came through your last couple practices. Okay, will he be your number 2?
He will be the number 2, yes.
Well, guys, we finally got some good news from Kevin Stefanski surrounding around Shedeur Sanders. This time in the media availability, Kevin Stefanski answered the question that we all wanted to know. Shedeur Sanders is quarterback 2. He's the backup for Sunday's game.
After weeks of manufactured drama, phantom injury reports that appeared out of thin air, and Kevin Stefanski guarding depth chart information like it's the nuclear codes, we finally have clarity. Shedeur Sanders is officially the backup quarterback heading into Sunday's battle against the New York Jets. Let that sink in. Shedeur Sanders is QB2. Kevin Stefanski stood at that podium today, looked the Cleveland media dead in the eye, and delivered the straight answer we've been begging for since week 1. No corporate doublespeak, no "we'll see how the week progresses" nonsense. Just 4 beautiful words that Browns fans have been screaming for.
Your number 2?
He will be the number 2, yes.
You want to know how badly this organization has bungled this situation? The fact that this is considered breaking news, like we just discovered alien life, tells you everything you need to know about the dysfunction in Berea. If you believe Shedeur deserves his shot at QB1, smash that subscribe button right now. Drop SS100 in the comments to support this kid, because somebody needs to champion the talent he's shown. Let's cut through the noise. This should have been the easiest decision in football. Joe Flacco gets traded. Dillon Gabriel starts. Shedeur Sanders backs him up. Boom. Done. That's how every competent organization in the NFL handles succession planning. But not in Cleveland. Not under Kevin Stefanski's watch. Instead, we got an episode of Days of Our Lives featuring a back injury that materialized like a ghost right before the Patriots game. The Cleveland media went ballistic. The fan base revolted. Social media exploded with the same burning questions. Is this injury even real? Is the front office burying this kid on purpose? Is Stefanski actively sabotaging a rookie quarterback's career?
Kevin Stefanski is basically sabotaging Shedeur's career, sabotaging his opportunity to get on the field for the Cleveland Browns.
Whether you buy into the conspiracy theories or not, one thing is crystal clear. The Browns have turned this into a PR nightmare. The stonewalling and contradictory messaging created a toxic environment where fans and media had to play detective instead of trusting the organization. Here's what makes this whole situation even more infuriating. Shedeur Sanders has been absolutely spotless throughout this entire circus. No leaked complaints to the media, no cryptic Instagram posts, no agent whispering trade demands to Adam Schefter. Sanders walked into Cleveland, embraced the grind, and conducted himself with the poise of a seasoned pro.
Through adversity, through people calling you all these things, you're a Nepo, you're this, you're a 5th round pick, he smiles and shows up, answers the questions. I ain't had a problem. He don't get in problems off the field unless you call the speeding ticket a problem. And if that's a problem.
Off the field, Sanders has been a model professional, actively engaging with the Cleveland community, building authentic relationships with his teammates, devouring the playbook like his career depends on it. Every single checkbox a rookie should mark, he's marked in pen. And his reward for all that professionalism? Getting deactivated so Bailey Zappi could hold the clipboard. Then the bye week arrived and changed everything. Sanders underwent treatment for his back issue. When practice resumed Monday, he was listed as limited. But by Tuesday, full participant. Not just participating, dominating. Practice reports described a quarterback who looked completely healthy and supremely dialed in. The ball was lasering out of his hand with velocity and precision. He was moving in the pocket without any restrictions whatsoever. Most importantly, he was running routes with the first-team offensive weapons, David Njoku and Jerry Jeudy.
Shedeur Sanders was a full participant, and Kevin Stefanski didn't want to say that Shedeur was promoted back to quarterback 2 because Bailey Zappi was still at quarterback 2. Now, what has happened is Shedeur Sanders was a full participant, and he's been looking great out there, getting a lot of rave reviews, and he was throwing with some first-team guys. You saw him throwing passes with David Njoku. You saw some passes he was throwing to Jerry Jeudy, but they didn't want to show that.
The story should have been straightforward. Sanders had a legitimate injury, got proper medical attention, recovered completely, and returned ready to ball. But no, The organization kept playing games, refusing to commit to naming him QB2 even when the evidence was overwhelming. Now every eye in Cleveland turns to Sunday's showdown with the Jets and what it actually means for Sanders and this quarterback situation. The timing couldn't be more perfect. The Jets just fire-sailed their defense, shipping out their two best players. They're tearing it down to the studs, basically gift-wrapping opportunities for opposing offenses to feast.
If Dillon Gabriel goes out there against a depleted Jets defense that just traded away two of their best defensive players and balls out, goes crazy, throws for 4 touchdowns, 500 yards, guess who's coming in the game? But wait, what if, Tings, I know you're asking, what if Dillon Gabriel does so bad? What if he throws multiple interceptions, theoretically throws himself into a safety? He would never do that. He's a supercomputer. What if those things happen?
It's the ultimate no-lose scenario. If Gabriel plays well and the Browns build a comfortable lead, that creates garbage time for Sanders to collect valuable NFL reps. If Gabriel struggles or gets hurt, the coaching staff might be forced to turn to Sanders to save the day. The weather forecast adds gasoline to this fire. Stefanski himself mentioned expecting nasty conditions in New York, rain and wind that could turn the passing game into a nightmare. This becomes crucial when you examine Gabriel's track record in adverse weather. The Miami game is the smoking gun. When the weather turned ugly, the Browns' offense went ultra-conservative. Short passes, heavy run game. Most damning of all, they benched Gabriel in red zone situations, bringing in Quinshon Judkins to run wildcat packages.
Now, we saw what Dillon Gabriel did in Miami when the inclement weather hit. They dinked and dunked and ran the ball, and they had to take him out in the red zone and put Quinshon Judkins in there to run the wildcat.
Meanwhile, Sanders played an entire game in a torrential downpour against Baylor, scrambling left, throwing back across his body to the right sideline, hitting LeJontay Wester in the end zone to tie the game and force overtime, in a monsoon, with defenders in his face, making NFL-caliber throws under impossible conditions. If Stefanski is anticipating brutal weather and Gabriel has already proven he wilts in those conditions, doesn't that significantly increase the chances we see Sanders take snaps on Sunday? The bigger picture reveals an even more uncomfortable truth for Browns fans. There's legitimate conversation in Cleveland media circles about whether Sanders and Gabriel are actually competing to be the bridge quarterback for 2025.
Are Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel actually battling to be the Browns' bridge quarterback next season? I know that when we've talked Kyler Murray, that feels bleak. Or when we've mentioned Tua or Mac Jones or any of the quarterbacks that could be available.
Yeah.
That feels bleak for people.
The 2026 quarterback draft class is mediocre at best, no generational talents on the horizon. The real franchise changers don't arrive until 2027, which means the Browns might genuinely need one of these rookies to develop into a legitimate starter.
Unless one of them does something over the final 9 games of the season.
Open up the idea that if Shedeur looks good and wins the job and then just can be the starter next year, that's a great thing, all things considered. Like I like that being on the table.
That's the cold, hard reality Browns fans need to accept. This team desperately needs one of these quarterbacks to pan out. Without it, the franchise is staring down the barrel of quarterback purgatory for at least 2 more brutal years. And here's the kicker, you can't properly evaluate a quarterback who never sees the field. Gabriel has 8 games of film. There's legitimate data on his strengths, mobility, toughness, heart, and his glaring weaknesses. Arm strength, decision-making under pressure. Whether he's the answer is debatable, but at least there's actual information to assess. Sanders? Preseason snaps against practice squad players. That's literally it. How can anyone make an intelligent decision about his NFL future without real game reps against actual NFL competition? This is why Sunday matters. Not because Sanders is starting, not because Gabriel is getting replaced, but because for the first time all season, there's a realistic possibility that Sanders gets meaningful snaps in a real game situation. Let's address the elephant stampeding through the room, the open competition that was rigged from day one. An open competition where one quarterback never receives first-team reps isn't a competition. It's a predetermined outcome dressed up with flowery language. Jackson Dart in New Orleans, first-team reps from day one. Tyler Shuck in Jacksonville, first-team reps even after losing his first start in Week 9. But Sanders, banished to the twos from the moment he walked through the door. The criticism Sanders has endured throughout this process has been absolutely absurd. Nepo baby, only drafted because his last name is Sanders, can't handle NFL pressure, made of glass, doesn't have the hunger to compete. Every single narrative has been systematically demolished. Sunday against the Jets might finally give Cleveland fans the opportunity they've been screaming for. Sanders is active, he's healthy, he's QB2. After 8 weeks of manufactured drama, phantom injury reports, and unanswered questions, Browns fans deserve to see what they actually have in their fifth-round investment. The weather's going to be hostile, the Jets' defense is decimated. Gabriel has already proven he struggles in these exact conditions. Sunday just became appointment television for Browns Nation. What's your take on this whole saga? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more unapologetic Cleveland Browns coverage. Peace.